In this tutorial, I want to review how to tween, but I want to show you how to step it up a notch a little bit. So I am starting off with something on my screen, any kind of object. It could be an image, it could be something that you draw. And I have a green dot on frame 1, but there's nothing else going on down here. So my green dot, to make it a tween, needs to be a diamond. So I'm going to click on this Add Tween, which changes that to the diamond shape. And I want this to take about 15 frames, so I'm dragging out that first frame to last 15 frames. And on frame 15, I need another diamond. It always takes 2 diamonds to make a tween. But if I play it right now, nothing happens because I didn't change the location. So on 15, I want it to go to the other side. On frame 1, it's still there. On frame 15, it's here. But the tween, this little skinny arrow that's between, says I want to fill in from point A to point B. So it that does the tween. There's the beginning point, the ending point, and it does everything for you in between. That's the tween. So if you want to step it up a notch, I'm not going to change the position on how 15 looks right now. I'm only going to change frame 1. So I have my playhead over frame 1. And on frame 1, I'm going to take this object and just make it a little bit bigger for starters. So now it's big, but I never changed its size on frame 15. Still, this is point A, this is point B. So when I hit play, it fills in everything in between. So this time I have something resizing. Something is changing sizes. That's a powerful part of tween. I can make something get bigger and small. I can also extend this a little bit longer, maybe out to 30. I don't have to have just 2 diamonds, that's just the minimum. I can have a 3rd diamond and then move this object where I want it to be by frame 30. So when it plays through the timeline, it now has to be on frame 30 in this position. It didn't change anything on frame 1 or 15, that's still the same. But I kept my tween going, and I now have something in a new position. Continuing along with this, so I have something resizing, I have something redirecting. If I click on one of these diamonds, I'm going to click on 15. I have a couple changes here on the right hand side. So I clicked on my frame 15. I'm on the actual diamond. You can see it has a blue outline around it because I'm physically clicking on that diamond. There's something that says full rotation. I don't want to make this number giant because it only has from 15 to 30 to do a full rotation, but I am going to change it to 1. So now from 15 to 30, it has to do 1 full rotation. So I can rotate an object as well, which is kind of cool. And if I want it to rotate from 1 to 15, I need to click on the diamond for number 1, and now I get that full rotation again. So it rotates from this point to the next keyframe. And the last thing I can do with tweening, and the power of tweening, is if I click on this first frame and I click on my object, there's an opacity level of 1. And if I change that to 0, I can use the slider as well, but if I hand type in a 0, it makes it invisible. It's totally see-through. It's totally opaque. So I didn't change the visibility on 15 or 30. I just changed the invisibility, and it didn't work because I missed one step. Let me do that again. So I'm on frame 1. I'm clicking on my object. I'm going to change the opacity to 0, but then I always have to seem to click in the scratch area, and that made this opaque now. Only on frame 1. So if I play it, it now has to fade in. This works really well with text. If I want to do the end and then have it fade out, that's a really good effect on text. So we learned to tween, but you can't just move something to one place to the other, but you can rotate, resize, redirect, and fade something using that tweening technique.